go through this practice test right now. I'm just gonna get the solutions done and then you can just study throughout the week, okay? Um, and then we'll see how it goes, okay? So let's just get to it. So my name, Mr. Fame, class 8C and 8D. Today's date is the 30th. Now I'm just gonna set my pens to be the lowest thickness. Alright. Hmm? Why can't I scroll? Alright. When 4 is subtracted from double a number, the result is 10. Which equation matches this statement? So, oh, from double a number, result is 10. So this must means something equals to 10. Now 4 is subtracted from, keyword from. So that means you're minusing 4 and then double a number. So I'm just going to say 2x. So let x be number. So now that I've got my equation 2x minus 4 equals 10, I'm just going to circle that answer, okay? Uh, the sum of two consecutive numbers is 57. So you need to look up what the definition of consecutive. So consecutive just pretty much means like next to each other. So it would be this one because if I let x be the first number, and obviously we've defined that consecutive just pretty much means next to each other. So x plus 1 will become the second number. And because the keyword is sum, so you are adding them. So x plus 1 equals to 57, okay? All right, question 3. Solve 7x equals 63. Just divide both sides by 7. And you end up with x equals to 9. So B. Now, the solution to 2x plus 5 equals 2x minus 3 is, now if you were to actually figure this out, you will quickly realize that it's a bit strange, okay? So if I just subtract 2x to both sides, I get 2x plus 5 minus 2x equals negative. Oh, hold on. And paper, baby, up in the pen. 2x minus 2x actually becomes 0, and so I'm left with 5 on the left hand side. And then obviously on the right hand side it disappears. I have 5 equals negative 3. Now this is not true at all. That means there's actually no solution. There's in fact no solution for this. Question 5. Which inequality shows y is greater than 5 and at most 12? So you're just going to go through the list pretty much. So we know it's greater than 5. So so we know y is greater than 5, or in this case 5 is less than y. So that makes sense. So another way of writing this is like that. Yeah, makes sense. Y is greater than 5. And then we have at most 12. Now, the at most 12 part is a bit tricky because, it's going to have the number 12, but the key word here is most. So it actually does include the value of 12 as well. So it's going to have the equal to part. So it's actually 5 is less than y, and y is less than or equal to 12. So it's A. The temperature in Celsius is given by C equals 5 over 9, bracket F minus 32. If F equals 68, what is C in Celsius? So you just substitute. Now, if you do bond mass, now this actually becomes 5 over 9 times 36. And if you apply cancellation, it becomes 20 degrees. Now, if you're not sure what just happened, this is technically the same thing. And I just cross cancel like that. Okay, that's what happens here. Okay. I don't teach you this. Look, I have taught you this stuff already, but it's just a matter of if people remember or not, yeah? Uh, Plumber charges a $85 call out fee, and then keyword is plus $50 per hour. If the job costs 250 in total, how many hours? So you're gonna write an equation. So when you make a phone call, okay, you automatically get charged $85 an hour. So you're going to get charged $85 straight away. And then after that, you're going to get charged $55 an hour. So I'm just going to do 55T equals to 250. And the question is asking how many hours. So I need to solve for T. Solve for T. So this will be 55T equals to minus 85. And now you divide both sides by 55. T equals 3 hours. Okay. It's more of a trial and error kind of vibe, okay? All right, question 8. Which of the following satisfies 3x minus 2 is greater than 10? Now, there's more than one answer, so you need to sort of like figure it out. Best thing to do is just substitute into inequality, and then you find what's true. Now, if you do this, you'll end up getting C and D, okay? So substitute 3 where x is. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 2 is greater than 10. Now we know that is definitely not true. It is wrong. And then you just do the same onwards, okay? Now, the reason why B is wrong is because what you're trying to look for is a value that's greater than 10. You're not trying to find a value that is 10, that is greater than or equal to. You're finding a value that's just greater. So x equals 4, completely wrong. So x equals 5 and x equals 6 will be correct, okay? All right, let's do this. Solve for y. There's more than one answer. Okay, so let's just solve like normal. Let's just plus 6. And then I divide both sides by 3. Y equals 17 over 3. So we know it's C. Oh no, so we know it's D. I mean, I mixed that up. We know it's D. Now, Because the question says there's more than one answer, we have to look at our other options here. We know it's not six because if it was six, we would have divided it into six already. It's not 19 over 3 because we found it's 17 over 3. So the only other option is C, okay? Now, if you wanted to know how this works, you just do long division on 17. So you have 5, remainder 2. So this is the whole number. It's a denom. That's your num. Okay? So just like that. And finally, you're going to solve this inequality. So just be careful here, okay? So I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. Now remember, we are dividing by, when we divide by the negative number, okay? Be careful, sign switches, okay? Okay, so x is less than negative 3, okay? So that means it's A. Yahoo! Okay, solving for the variable, pretty straightforward, so um, let's just go ahead and do it. Um, in part B, I saw that there's a -7 there, so I'm just inversing that, so +7, okay? So that's all I've done here. In part C, you want to expand the bracket first, okay? 3t minus 6 equals to 21. Now add 6 because I see -6. Now -6 plus 6 turns into 0. And then 21 plus 6 turns into 27. And on the left-hand side, I'm still left over with 3t. So that's why I write 3t down there. Then finally, I just do the final step, dividing. Okay, so divide both sides by 3. No, part D is quite tricky. I'm just gonna quite hard. But if you give this a go, yeah, I'll be very happy if you give it a go. Okay. So let's just expand it like normal. Now, -2 times 3 equals -2p. And then I have here -2 times -2, which equals to +4. So that means my left-hand side just looks like -2p plus 4. Okay, so let's just write that down. -2p plus 4 equals to -p plus 10. Then remember, I see pony was on both sides, so I'm just going to remove one from one side. I choose this one to remove, -p. So I'm going to plus p. Okay. So when I do that, negative 2p plus 4. Um, Now, if you remember correctly, that's a secret one. So now reads as negative 2 plus 1. So negative 2 plus 1 equals to negative 1p plus 4 equals to negative p plus p is 0. So I'm left on the right hand side is 10. And then finally, I'm going to subtract 4 because I see the plus 4 there. So negative 1p equals to 10 minus 4, which equals to 6. I can't be bothered writing a lot of this stuff down. Ah. And then I finally divide by negative 1, okay? 6 divided by negative 1 is negative 6. So yeah, this one's quite tricky, so just be careful. I got all of this to do. All right, let's get to it. Um, Plus 4, both sides. This turns to 0. So on the left hand side, I'm left with 3a. And then on the right hand side, 14 plus 4 equals 18. And then finally, divide by 3, okay? Now this one's a bit tricky, part B. So remember, this is a fraction. That's a fraction. And then over here is the extra term. So you want to get rid of the extra term, okay? So to get rid of the extra term, you're going to apply that inverse operation. So plus 2. Maybe I'll write it in black. So if I add 2 to both sides, the negative 2 disappears. And all I'm left with on the left hand side is r plus 2 over 3, which equals to 8. And then I multiply both sides by the denominator. And then I subtract by 2 at the end. So r equals to 22. Okay. This one's a bit easy to do. You see how in this example here, like I've got the negative sign there? Because I've got the negative sign there, it makes my life 10 times easier. I know which inverse operation to apply. Okay, so I'm just going to add 3a. So if I add 3a, I end up with 5a minus 1 plus 3a equals negative 3a plus 63 plus 3a. Now the negative 3a disappears. So 5a plus 3a turns into 8a minus 1 equals to 63. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I end up with 8a equals to 64. And then divide both sides by 8. A equals 8. Cool. And this one I need to multiply, expanding the brackets first. So negative 9 times m. Which now becomes negative 9m plus 9 equals negative 27. Now I'm going to subtract both sides by 9. See how like it's just like all you're doing is you're just applying one step and then like you just carry on until you do the normal stuff, yeah? So that's all you got to get used to, okay? So when that happens, oh yeah, just over here, just be careful highlighting. Okay, divide by -9. Make sure you divide by -9, not by not do some adding shenanigans. Make sure you divide, please. So I'm just going to do that, and I end up with m equals to 4. Now over here, you're just going to expand both sides right here, just like this. This one's a tricky one, okay? Very tricky, hard, very hard. So if people don't understand this, that's perfectly fine. It's just for those who, have a deeper understanding of the topic, okay? But that's perfectly fine. We will all get there. Bum, 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 bum. And baby, I just don't get it. Do you enjoy being hurt? I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on your shirt. You don't believe in stories. You know that they're wrong. Bad as you are, you stick around. And I just don't know why. If I was your man, maybe you'd never worry about what I do. I'll be coming home back to you every night, doing you right. You're the type of woman that says good things. Fist full of diamonds, head full of rings. Baby, you're a star, and I just wanna show you you are. You should know. Let me be the one to. Ah, here we go. Yeah, here we are. These are like terms here. So you should collect them, okay? Collect. Collect them straight away. So now becomes 3q minus 5 equals to 72 minus 4q. And now you just solve like normal, okay? Okay. Okay, let me just fix this. Why is it not working? And give you everything you want and need. And baby, can love and protection. Agree your selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be. Baby, you should let me love you, love you, love you, love you. Yeah, yeah. Girl, you're your beauty's description. Mm, you're done plus 99, it's a shame. Don't even know what you're worth. Everywhere you go, they stop and stare. Okay, and over here we're just going to add 5. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You been a cash, I've been a rubber band. You been a match, I'm a been a fuse. Boom. Paint a baby, you can be the muse. Some no reporter, baby, you can be the news. Cause you're the cigarette. Mm-hmm. Because of it. Hey. It's in the joker, done. You wanna talk, and I can be the blackboard. You can be the, and I can be the. Even when the sky comes falling, even when the sun don't shine, I got faith in you and I. So put your pretty little hand in. Saying love is a short thing. It can be the lover, happy to find a bam. From the blood, you could be the lighter bam. Find a baby, you could be the clone. Oh, alright, okay. So hopefully you should have gotten S equals 14, okay? Uh, just go back to previous page. I actually forgot to do this. So true or false? If 2x equals to 10, then x equals to 5, and then the best way to do that is just to substitute 5 in. 10 equals 10, which is true, so true. And then you're just going to substitute this. Y equals 6 in. 18 plus 2 equals 14. 20 equals 14, which is in fact false. Okay. All right, let's do question 4. A rule is P when 2n plus 1. Find P. So keyword find P, a rule, and then you're given n equals 3. So substitute. That's all you're doing. So P equals 2 bracket 3 plus 1. That now reads as 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1. And then P equals to 7. Cool. And then you got n equals 10 as well. So just do the same thing. Substitute P equals. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh. 2 bracket 10 plus 1. 2 times 10 is 20 plus 1. And that equals to 21. Okay. So do. All right, show these inequalities and show the solution on a number line, okay? And 6 marks, so that means it's 2 marks each. 2, 2, 2. So if you think about it, 1 mark is definitely for solving. One is for solve, and then one for line. So you got to make sure your line's good as well, okay? So let's just solve properly. So 2 marks, 2 marks, 2 marks each, okay? That's all it means. Go, 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 go. Let's just solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. So x plus 3 minus 3 less than or equal to 7 minus 3. Now 3 minus 3 is 0. So that means this disappears. 7 minus 3 is 4. That means my final answer is x is less than or equal to 4. Now you can draw the graphs now or draw the graphs at the end. I don't really care as long as you get the full marks regardless, yeah? So do what you must, okay? So I'm going to add 1 to both sides here. 2x minus 1 plus 1. 5 plus 1. Now, the reason why I'm plussing 1 is, look, I'm trying to get rid of minus 1 here, so I'm doing the inverse operation of that, which is adding, okay? So the 1's disappear on the left-hand side, and I'm left with 2x. And then I have 5 plus 1 on the right-hand side, which is 6. And if I just divide both sides by 2, 2x, 6, 2, 2. X is greater than 3. Now, the final one here is just you expanding brackets. So please do that. So you get, what do you get? And 2 times x, negative 2 times 5, negative 2x, negative 10. That means it will be written as negative 2x minus 10, okay? So negative 2x minus 10 is greater than or equal to negative 12. And after you expand, you just solve like normal, okay? Apply the inverse operations here. Do, do, do. She's my sunshine in the rain. But darling, know when I'm in pain, and she's exactly what you. Just make sure you divide by the negative number here. And like a tall glass of lemonade, she's so sweet summer days, yeah. She's exactly what I need. Said she's soothing, the ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby, and she helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful. She's Alrighty, so hopefully you should have gotten x is less than or equal to 1. Oh, right, that's right, we need to draw the number line. I forgot. And she, when I'm feeling blue, she's my good night's sleep when the day is through, yeah. And it goes like this. Like the feeling of your first kiss. Dun, 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 makes you feel like Okay, how are we going to draw our number line? So yeah, just look at the inequality. Okay, my number's at 4. I'm just gonna draw 4 there. I'm gonna see whether it's open or closed, remember? So the steps were draw a number line, just put where your number is. Draw step 2 was draw a circle, whether it's open or closed. Now this is a closed circle because it's got the line underneath, aka shaded circle. And to draw the direction of your graph, look at the direction the inequality is facing. So you want to look at this right here because it's pointing towards the left. So now you just draw your line pointing towards the left as well, just like that. Boom, boom. And then make sure you label your axis, okay? Just like that. Now you're going to do the same thing. Just mark this as 3. You can mark one more digit. I would say for safe measure, just mark one more digit, just so you know which one's like the high, like the bigger number or smaller number. This makes it very clear, okay? So I'm going to label the x-axis here as well. My inequality starts at the number 3, so I'm going to draw a circle there. Now, whether to shade in or not, just have a look. Do I have a line? Yay or nay? The answer is nay. So you just leave it blank and then grab your lovely ruler and draw a line. Voila. Just like that. And that's one mark there. Now the final one, okay. So we solved this all to be x is less than or equal to 1. I could just say this is 0. This is the number 1 right here. I am just going to shade the circle in because I know it's a closed circle. Grab your ruler, look at the inequality, whichever direction that is, and then draw an arrow like that. And this is your x-axis right here. So this is how you would do it. Okay. All right. Solve these word problems. Oh, I gotta go do this. All right. Okay. Emma buys 4 pens and 3 pencils for $7.60. Each pen costs $1.20. Find the cost of each pencil. Okay, let's just highlight some keywords. So 4 pens and 3 pencils for 760. Pen costs $1.20. Find the cost of each pencil. So that's what we want. So I'm just going to label P as X and then I'm going to label pencil as Y. So I know that if I buy 4 pens and 3 pencils together, it's going to add up to $7.60. And now I know that each pen here costs $1.20 each. So what I'm going to do is substitute X equals $1.20 into my formula. So that would mean 4 by 1.20 plus 3y equals to 760. I'd get $4.80 plus 3y equals $7.60. Now, obviously, you just solve from here, solve for y. So you should be comfortable with subtracting from decimals, but at the end of the day, you would get, let's see, $2.80. And then you just got to use division short to figure it out, okay? So 3 by 2.80. So how many times does 3 go into 2? 0. How many times does 3 go into 28? Because the 2 now carries on to the next digit. And make sure your decimal stays the same. It should line up. It's 9 times with one remainder. And then how many times does 3 go into 10? 3 times with one remainder. And then how many times does 3 times go into 10? 3 times with one remainder. And you sort of see that this is actually a recurring number. It's recurring. So because we deal with money, you want to cut off after 2 decimal places, 2 dp. So therefore your answer should be y equals to 0.93 cents, just like that, okay? So each pencil costs 93 cents each. That's just basically what the question is saying. Now, part B, 2 times a number is meaning equal 12 less than 5 times the number. So less meaning minus sign, okay? So I'm just going to let x be number, my unknown. So I don't know what the number is. I'm trying to find what that is. So my question here is saying 2 times a number. So 2 times x, okay, is the same as 12 less than 5 times a number. 12 less. So 12 less than 5 times number, like that. Actually, it's the other way around. 12 less than 5 times the number. So that actually means 5 times x minus 12, okay? So once we sort of simplify it, we get 2x equals to 5x minus 12, and then you just solve for x like normal, okay? So right now, what you're going to do is you're going to subtract 5x. So you'll end up with negative 3x equals to negative 12. And then you divide. I'm just going to write it up here. You're going to divide by negative 3 on both sides. So you end up with x equals to positive 4, okay? Oh, now the internet starts coming back. Jesus. Ay, 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 ay. Hey, let's go. And how should I take a journey through your mind? Alright. Alright, so the wording of consecutive odd numbers here, okay, it just literally means three odd numbers next to each other. For example, you got something like 1, 3, 5. So if you do 1 plus 3 plus 5, obviously this will give you 9. But what we're trying to get is 99. So that's the key word there, is meaning equals. So we're trying to find three numbers that if you add them, three odd numbers, I mean, that if you add them, it has to equal to 99, okay? So I'm going to say, let x be the first odd number, okay? So that's all you got to do. So I'm going to write x plus something equals 99. Now you're probably wondering, what would I write anyway? Well, I'm definitely going to write x in. So this is for my second number. If you look at my example, how far apart is my 1 and my 3? It's only apart by 2, because if I were to do... So another way of writing 3, let's just say if x was my number, if x equals 1, then 3 equals to x plus 2, right? Because I know that if I replace x to the number 1 and add 2 to it, I end up with 3. And then if I wanted to get 5, it would be the same thing as x plus 4. So all I'm doing is I'm technically adding 2 on top of this plus 2. So that's why I get x plus 4, right? So wouldn't it make sense if I see x plus 2 here and then x plus 4 here to act as the second and third number? And then once I have all of that lined up in my equation, I can just solve it like normal. So um, what I actually get is 3x plus 6 equals to 99. And then if you solve like normal, what you end up getting is 3x equals to 33, no, 93. Oh, what am I doing? And then what ends up happening is you divide by 3. So that means x equals to 31. But just remember, x is my first odd number. Okay? So that means x plus 2 equals to 33. And then x plus 4 equals to 35. Okay? So if you add 31, 33, 35, you will actually get 99 at the end. Okay? Uh, so yeah, I actually got to fix the wording on this one. Okay? So um, uh, the sum of three consecutive odd number is 99. Uh, okay, 99. What are the three odd numbers? Okay, and that's what I found. Okay, so my three odd numbers are 31, 33, and 35. So we call it that. Now, part D, I don't expect you to do this. Okay, I'll have it in my solutions later. Um, but let's just look at part E. This is the one where I was a bit tripped out because my brain was just not working the other day. But I had another look at it and I sort of understand it now. Okay, so let's just go through this. So we know K is 7 years older than her sister Key. So I'm just gonna say let X be Key's age. And now we know what X plus 7 is K's age. Okay, so that's it. Now, in 3 years' time, K will be twice as old as Key. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to add 3 years. So this is my now, and then this is my 3 years. So x plus 3 is Key, and then x plus 7 plus 3 is K. So this is what it'll be like in 3 years' time, I mean. No, you got to be careful with the wording here because it says here twice as old. Okay, so just be careful with the wording. You're not gonna see that degree. So in 3 years' time, so you're actually going to be using these numbers. Okay, you're going to use these numbers. Okay. So what do we have? We have x plus 3. K will be twice as old as Key. So Key is x plus 3. Um, K will be twice as old as Key. So twice as old as Key will mean x plus 10. And we have here, what do we have here? Over here, just like that. Because K will be twice as old as Key. So this is K after in 3 years' time. This is the in 3 years' time equation. So in 3 years' time, this is Key is on the left hand side, K is on the right hand side. Because it says here K will be twice as old as Key. So you need to double Key's age to make sure that it will be the same as K's age in those 3 years' time. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to just expand like normal. So this will end up being 2x plus 6 equals to x plus 10. And now you just solve for x, okay? So minus x on both sides. I end up with x plus 6 equals 10. And then minus 6 on both sides, you get x equals to 4. That means Chi is currently 4 years old. So this is the current. And then K will be, because she's currently x plus 7, you just substitute 4 plus 7 in. So you have 11 years old. Okay, so this is how you would do this question here. Okay, that's the end of the test. Please just take it easy. Okay, uh, looking back on it, it is quite difficult just because it's long. But other than that, like the concepts are the same. Just go back to your basic roots. You will be a okay. Goodbye. My voice hurts. Toodaloos.